Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm glad you decided to join me today. I want to wish you and your family happy holidays. I'm Dr. T. I'm a board certified in internal medicine, cardiology, physiology, and my latest passion, lifestyle medicine. Today we're going to review and summarize basic concepts of previous videos, and we're going to look what Americans eat too much. There are foods that Americans don't eat enough. We're going to concentrate first on what Americans are eating too much. And we're going to zero in specifically on the types of fats. And we're going to look at the good ones, the bad, and the real villains. And we're going to end up this video with quiz time. So today we're going to zero in on the fat. Why bother anyhow? It's because lifestyle medicine has the power not only to prevent disease and avoid diseases, but actually has the power to reverse disease. This is a classical example, angiogram from Dr. Esselstyn at Cleveland Clinic that showed, in fact, just the power of a plant-based diet could reverse coronary artery disease, as shown on this example. In spite of that, only 3% of Americans have these four healthy behaviors. 76% do not smoke, 5 fruits and vegetables a day, only 23% Americans doing regular physical activity, only 22%, and less than 40% have a normal weight, body mass index less than 25. And these concepts are not actually that new. If you look at Hippocrates a long time ago, was famous for saying that let the food be thy medicine. Somehow have forgotten over the years this very important piece of advice. On this slide we have again foods that Americans eat way too much, and it's in fact saturated fats, trans fats, it's cholesterol, it's the added sugars and high fructose corn syrup, is the processed foods, it's too much sodium, too much salt, and foods high in calories. And here let's look at the different types of fats. We have in fact the saturated fats. They are a series of carbon atoms on a straight line, and they're solid at room temperature. And they come essentially from animal products, with two exceptions. Coconut oil and palm oil are rich in saturated fats. And we have the trans fats. They do have a double bond between the carbons. However, they are the hydrogens attached to these carbon atoms are on a transposition. And the classic example is the margarines and all processed foods that they've been incorporated on. And both saturated fats increase the risk of heart disease as well as the trans fats. The trans fats also increase the risk of diabetes. And then you have mono unsaturated fats where there is a double bond in the CISH configuration, and they are liquid at room temperatures, and they are olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, canola oil, peanut oil. And they may actually reduce the risk of heart disease. They are part of the good fats. And the other good fats that we have is called the polyunsaturated fats. They have multiple double bonds. And examples are the soybean oils, the corn oil, and the fats that we find in fatty fish. And they actually reduce the risk of heart disease. This is part 2 of video 5, continuing on exploring the lipids or the fats. And this slide shows we have again the ugly, the bad, and the good ones. The ugly are the trans fats, or also called hydrogenated oils or partially hydrogenated oils, and they are mainly in margarine and other processed foods. We have the saturated fats that are mainly beef, pork, and chicken, butter, dairy, and there are some tropical oils, palm oil, and coconut oil that has a significant amount of saturated fats. Both saturated fats and trans fats, they raise the bad cholesterol, the LDL, and they lower the good cholesterol and increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. In addition, the trans fats increase the risk of diabetes. Let's look at foods highest in saturated fats in the standard American diet. Again, we have fat cuts of beef, pork, and lamb, and processed foods, as you can see. And if you look at the top 5 sources of saturated fats in the American diet, we have burgers and sandwiches, we have snacks and sweets, dairy, and other protein foods. And here's the culprit, burgers and also sandwiches, and they are also very high in salt, something that is very prevalent, and Americans eat way too much. We're going to introduce another concept talking about fats, is the concept of caloric density. And if you look at this picture, you see 400 calories of vegetable oil, beef, and 400 calories of vegetables. And there are stretch receptors in the stomach that, when the stomach is full, sends a message to the brain that tells you you've eaten enough, you stop eating. So the vegetable oils are very caloric dense because the fats in general have 9 calories per gram, as opposed to the proteins and the carbs that have 4.5 calories per gram. So in conclusion, fats are vital to our health. They contain essential fatty acids that the body cannot make. And we need to avoid the bad ones, the trans fats and the saturated fats. The mono and polyunsaturated fats are the healthiest, but we have to keep in mind that they are caloric dense. And in fact, 1 tablespoon of any vegetable oil has about 120 calories, about the same as a glass of wine, a little bit less than the standard beer, has around 150 calories. However, some beers could have as much as 350 calories. It's time for a quiz from the last video. True or false, the fact that the keto diet avoids bad carbs and sugar sweetened beverage is a step in the right direction. It is in fact true. The problem is what you replace with. When you replace the bad carbs with bad fats, then you're not going to get a good, healthy outcome. Keto diets are effective in short-term weight loss. It's true. We've talked about this before. Unfortunately, keto diets increase your cardiovascular and total mortality and should be avoided in general. Let's look at the next video quiz. Doctors who exercise are more likely to counsel patients on exercise than the ones who don't. True or false? And another question, physicians who do not smoke are more likely to counsel their patients in the risk of smoking. True or false? And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and write comments or ask questions to try to make this as interactive as possible. And remember, your health is too important to be delegated to others. Let's just take control. See you next video.